Alright, so I apologize for the extended gap in between my last battle report, but as always, real life comes in play. Uh, this battle report is my second game for Buckeye Battles against Mark and his Saurian Ancients. Um, I think we both had like a decent showing at the previous game, so it's like we weren't horribly low on the tables, but Mark's list was like I'll go over both our lists here, but his was basically a Raptor bus with his two hard-ass characters, Saurian veteran and a warlord. Uh, two big blocks of these like Saurus or whatever they're called. Two of those big monsters, two of the fire beasts, and then a bunch of skinks with javelins and like a what is it called? The Cayman group. So I had like skinks with some Cayman in there. But the next, excuse me. The next scenario is it was classic deployment, but they have the base camps. Basically, it says this one time at base camp was the name of the scenario, but it it basically divided the board up into four quarters, A, B, C, and D, and you got points, victory points, at the end of the game if you had scoring units in your A or D, so like your opponent's getting yours was 150, and then in B and C was 100. Um, it says to score the VPs, there must be no enemy scoring units in the zone. Bonus battle points was invade a scoring unit into the enemy camp zone at any point of the game. +1, that was +2 for that one. +1 for no enemy scoring units in your base camp A or D at the end of the game, and then +2 for meeting both conditions. So I will run through my list real quick and then go over my opponents. So again, Lord of Change, Spear of Gagnir, Bluffer's Helm, Duststone, Potion of Swiftness, and Waste Hardened Skin. So he's got a 1-up with a reroll, and then the Bluffer's Helm to help with that. 6 Strength, and the Lethal Strike for everything with the Spear. My BSB is Mark Change, has Sword of Strength, Hardened Shield, Talisman of Greater Shielding, Banner of Courage, and the Third Eye. So he's got a 2-up, 4-up, and his unit that he's in automatically passes terror tests and immune to effects of fear. Then I have Wrath Priest with Crown of Scorn, and he's naked other than that. Then I have a Barbarian Chief, Mark True Chaos, with the Screaming Swords and Ring of Fire. 23 Warriors of Change with Sword and Board, full command. 25 Barbarians of Lust with Standard Bearer and paired weapons, throwing weapons. And then Chosen of Wrath with paired weapons and full command. So a unit of 6 dogs, and then another 2 units of 5, and then my Lust Chosen with halberds. Then I have 2 chariots, 1 Lust, 1 True Chaos. Kitted out Elder Dragon Centaur with the paired weapons and light armor. And then, of course, my Lusty Giant. So now off to the opponent's list. Let's see, he has a Saurian Warlord with Obsidian Sword, Duststone, Egg of Quetzalcoatl, or whatever the hell it's called, and he's mounted on a Raptor. So everybody knows Obsidian Swords, no more saves, and he's a 1-up with a reroll. And the Egg gives him a breath weapon of D3 plus 2 strength magical attacks. Let's see, then next his BSB has Bluffer's Helm, Lucky Charm, and mounted on a Raptor with a halberd, so he also has a 1-up with a 1-time reroll. Which I don't know if he was, I can't remember if he kept rolling the reroll for the armor save or not, but he was a pain in the ass for my guys to kill. Let's see. Then Raptor Riders, he had 7 of them or 8 of them with full command, and then the totem gave rank and file model parts with Born Predator, also gain hatred. Then he had his level 1 skink priest with Dispel Scroll and Path of Wilderness. Another level 1 skink priest with the black cube that you remove 1 power dice from the opponent's power dice pool, 1 use only. And then he had the Jave Staff, which is a bound spell for Phoenix Rises. He has also Wilderness. Then we had 10 skink braves with the caimans inside of, with 1 caiman in there. I think he had one or two of his priests in that same unit. Then he has 10 skink braves with javelins, another 10 skink braves, and I think that was all. Yeah, that was all his little skink braves, but they're all javelins and unit of 10. And then 2 units of 25 Saurian warriors with full command. I don't know why he gave him full command, because he didn't have any characters in there with them, but they were sword and board. Then he had a Tyroscutus, which is the one that gives poison attacks, I think. Alter the Snake Gods, yeah. And then he had the 2 Salamanders, and then the Taurosaur, which was... What did this one give? That one had the bow, the giant bow, bolt thrower or whatever. So, those are the lists. Those are with a scenario and everything. So, off to the report. After the run-in with the Goblin Chief Chickenhead, the brothers pulled their forces back, not wanting to engage the large spiders and the remainder of the Goblins' forces while so heavily depleted. Bloodied but furious, they regrouped and moved forward, south and across the great ocean. There they came upon a great temple, covered in dense jungle. Tunark's vision showed him great treasure hidden within the temple. Their intent was to sack it and move on, but the inhabitants of the jungle had other ideas.
Skinks, that was, which one?
It's this, whatever this taking on these days.
Okay, stake it on thingy. Salamanders, 25 Saurus, poison guy. Tyroscutus. Another 25, then your skink bunker with 2 level 1s.
Yep.
With wilderness, and then your general's unit with BSB, another salamanders, and more skinks. And then on my side, chosen. Dogs, giant, true chaos chariot, general's unit, lust chariot, wrath chosen, dogs, lust barbarians, more dogs, and shagoth. So I won first turn, so it's like such.
They're good, not so much on the general.
And magic, I killed one of those things. I don't remember if I said it, but fireball was on that guy, my turn. He shot, killed a bunch of dogs. They passed from reroll, killed 1 guy here. These guys shot both and killed like a crap load. Giant took out 4 guys.
Yes.
And then got taken out himself. And these guys actually need to take a panic test too for the giant dying.
Oh, okay.
And then it's off to Warriors turn 2. Charge here, 1 combat, but he's stuck on 3 wounds. Charge there, fled, failed to charge. Move these guys up here. These 2 charged into the big unit, ran it down, and then they panicked and ran. These 2 were fine. Killed the little dinosaur things, raped the dogs and face that way. 1 combat and are an inch behind them. And now it's off to turn 2. Yeah, bottom of 2. Destroyed the bow guy. These guys killed the dogs. Those guys rallied over here. He rallied. 2 died from the little shooty bows or whatever. They charged them, they fled, they rallied, and magic, they have +2 to their stats now. And they shot a bunch of the dogs and they stuck. So now it's off to Warriors turn 3. Those guys rallied, these guys moved up over here. Everybody charged in with this. 1 and did not catch them because he rolled a fucking 11. Those guys are off the board because they beat the skinks and chased them off the board. And they the dogs charged there and got blown up. So now it is turn bottom of 3. Let's see, moved up here, rallied, destroyed the Chosen, and lost 1, I think, right? And it's off to top of 4. Shot these guys, killed like 2 or 3. Over here, 1 combat, then they are steadfast and stuck. These guys came back on the board finally. These guys filled a 12-inch charge, I think, or an 8-inch. They needed 8, so they're about to get charged by them. Now it's the bottom of 4. These guys rallied. This combat, I won. He put a wound on each of my guys and stuck. And then here I wiped out his rank and file, put 2 wounds on his general. He put 1 on mine, and he killed 2 guys, and then he stuck. Nothing on his BSP, because that motherfucker is hard, and is top of 5. Got him, killed 2, panic was fine, killed those guys, killed his general, and his BSP is still sitting there again, and he killed 3 of my guys, and it is bottom of 5.
They came from all sides, almost as if they were part of the jungle itself. The protectors of the temple did not take kindly to their sacred site being desecrated by the dark powers. They fought ferociously, but not nearly as well as Jaren and Tunarch's warriors. Their recent defeat at the hands of the Greenskins left them bloodthirsty for revenge. They fell upon the lizardmen with wild abandon, not sparing a single body that was in Blade's reach. All fell beneath the gaze of the dark gods. The brothers themselves took down the 2 Saurian leaders in single combat, their heads now adorning their personal standard. They filled the holds of their ship with as much gold as they could carry and made their way to unload their hull and resupply, their recent victory inflating their egos. Though the gods were pleased, they had another test for the brothers, one that would surely prove their worthiness. Alright, so I think I may have forgot to record the last turn, but I think it ended up being just like I ended up killing his BSB, and we said that his skinks got away, I think, something like that. But since his was his last turn, I couldn't really do anything, but I was the only one with any scoring units left, so I ended up with all 5 bonus points, and the only thing he had left were his 2 skink units, and I had pretty much everything, I think, minus like some dog units, and maybe the Lust Chosen, I can't remember exactly. But anyways, Mark was an amazing opponent because he was just like, even though he was getting like raffle stomped, he was extremely in good spirits. I put him down as my favorite opponent, but he was fun to play with or play against, and he made the game enjoyable even though he was not all that great on the dice rolls, whereas I was a lot better on them. I think the big mistake he had was his turn 1 moving his Saurus and his poison guy or whatever, poison monster, so close to my units to where I could actually have a decent charge on them. Is that it was basically I mopped up them, and then it was just a grind for his BSB and General's unit versus mine. But in the end, it was a huge victory for me, which was probably bad because the next game I played an all-combat Wrath, Scourge, scary stuff army. But anyways, thanks for watching, and see you on the next one. Hey guys, one last thing. I have decided to try out the support button for my channel. Basically, if you enjoy my content and would like to see more, any little bit would help towards expenses for travel and such to get to more tournaments. You obviously don't have to, and I'm not expecting anybody to, but if you do, it would be greatly appreciated. I know Once Bitten has something similar on his page, but again, if you feel the need and you want to support my channel and my tournament going habits, then by all means, hit that support button and shoot me some funds. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.